Good afternoon. I'm Natasha from HFMCMCpod.com, and today we are discussing a current and exciting topic in utilizing virtual worlds for education. With me this afternoon, I have OJ, Logan, Jeto, and Ibrahim, who are the experts in this field. OJ, why virtual worlds in education?
Firstly, this is a broad topic, but in simple words, we have a way of creating a virtual world that allows users in dispersed geographical locations to connect, share, create, and expand their educational knowledge. For more on this, you can actually look at our theoretical review.
So how can virtual worlds be applied to education?
Well, if I look at current applications, in the university space, it's used for online lectures. In the medical field, it's used to study the human anatomy, and it's actually used to perform autopsies on people. In the military, it's used for training exercises.
Jeto, OJ spoke about geographic location, which I see is an advantage. Taking into account education, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using virtual worlds?
Yes, well, looking at traditional educational practices, we see that a lot of the students' attention span has decreased and boredom has increased due to social networking, using cell phones, and generally lectures being a little bit less interactive. With these new uniquely created worlds, we can see that it's more easier for people to get into these worlds, get a more interactive base, so that the staff and learners are actually being active in these environments. With avatars being semi-autonomous, we can see that creating a self-portrait of oneself in a 3D dimensional space is almost allowing a person to fit not maybe his mold, but a created mold or a created profile that he or she wishes to use. When looking at negatives, though, we can see that hardware is quite a big topic. We need to see that 3 to 4 year computers are too old to run these systems, so a lot of systems need to be updated and upgraded to adapt with the system. Internet speeds need to be high to get into these and run with these virtual worlds. We know that social isolation results in users losing track of the real world due to the requirements of using this active system immensely. And lastly, I think that we find is that training and experience for these teachers are important. So a lot of hours are needing to be put into place for these systems to be run and used correctly for them to build these environments. Yes.
I see. Thank you, Jeto. Logan, could you perhaps provide our listeners with key factors for successfully using virtual worlds for education?
Sure. There are many guidelines to consider for successful implementation, and I will highlight a few critical ones now. The first element is the KISS principle. That is, keep it simple. It needs to be kept simple so that we do not overload the user with information. Another critical element to consider is to establish learning objectives early. A concise list of learning objectives helps to control cost, determine outcomes, and schedule time. It's also important to have more than one educational organizer, if possible, so that students can hear different points of view. Whilst one teaches, another can offer advice and observe local discussion. Allied to this, technical experts are a must so that any technical issues can be dealt with immediately. In any educational environment, assessment and event feedback are vital. Feedback can be from the educators, students, or the technician's point of view. Finally, it must be both entertaining and enjoyable for the students.
Wow, interesting. Ibrahim, are there other ways of virtual worlds for education can be used for?
Well, for instance, in the field of forensic pathology, Second Life is being used to teach auto-spy procedures, and then you have the London College of Fashion, which uses Second Life to stage an exhibition. This is where students hold a virtual show where they have created a Second Life building to display their final year projects. You also have virtual campuses. They're becoming quite common, and many universities like the University of Derby are building a virtual reality system to make virtual spaces which help reduce student centers. With these virtual campuses, you have virtual classrooms where some professors are using the platform as a meeting for students to attend lectures.
Well, clearly, virtual worlds for education is a broad topic. As mentioned at the beginning, there is a theoretical document which is available on the website. There you have it, folks. To sum it all up, from the experts themselves and myself, your host, Natasha. Until next time, see you soon.